YouTube. Today's video is inspired by a CD that I received in the post the other day of a band that are very underrated, not as prolific as many other bands in their scene. Said scene being Bay Area Thrash, and it was always a massive following for the likes of Exodus, Testament, Forbidden, Death Angel, and the like back in the 80s. But this band came along a little bit later, releasing their debut album in 1987. So I was thinking, I go back a long way with this band, all the way back to 1991. Didn't quite hear of them for their debut in 87, but they ended up on the bill of a massive tour that was going on in 1991, and they were, I do believe they were second on the bill, and there were 4 bands on this tour, and that particular tour happened in 1991 at the Hammersmith Odeon. You probably can't see that, but I'll put a more enhanced version of it up there. So that the bands involved in this tour were Xentrix, Sacred Reich, Sepultura, and the band I want to talk about, Heathen. So all these bands pretty much at the top of their game at this point of their careers. Obviously Sepultura were the headliner, touring Beneath the Remains in 91. That was their major breakthrough album. Same for Sacred Reich, and I guess the same for Xentrix as well, and of course Heathen. So the prompt for this video tonight was this collection of demos. So throughout the years, I mean, all bands have demo material, and some of it's early, some of it's mid-career, some of it's later career, whether they get dropped from a record label and they have to demo new material to search for a new label or whatever. But this particular collection, I've never had any of the Heathen demos whatsoever, and this particular collection was only released back in 2017 as a non-physical, digital only collection on their Bandcamp. So with that in mind, I always wanted a physical copy, and of course this particular digipack CD is a bootleg, quite a nice digi, double disc, containing everything they've demoed throughout the years, including a little session with Paul Baloff, original singer from Exodus, who demoed 2 songs with them. That would have been back in 1988, but as far as things went, he didn't really work out. So anyway, I'm jumping ahead of the game. Let's get into the discography first. 4 full-length albums and 1 covers EP, demos kind of collection. That is a bit of an anomaly during their downtime, I do believe. So Heathen is an American thrash band originating from the San Francisco Bay Area, active from 1984 to 1993, and again from 2001 onwards. So I guess, like most thrash bands of the day, they run their path, and they split up in 93. and then they reactivated again in 2001. So right from the off, they had their debut, Breaking the Silence, in 1987. They had Victims of Deception from 1991. And The Evolution of Chaos 2009. And Empire of the Blind 2020. So 4 studio albums. The Anomaly being the recovered EP, which contains some demo songs, cover versions, and demo songs and cover versions. So some of those on there, but everything that they did demo wise being on this 2023 issued collection. And you've got on here tracks 1 to 3 from the demo 2005, tracks 4 to 7 OP8 of the Masses demo 1989, tracks 8 to 9 is the 2 Paul Baloff demos from 1988, and on CD 2 you have tracks 1 to 6 are the Pray for Death demo from 1986. Track 7 is live in Aru 2010, track 8 is live in Berlin 2011, and track 9 live at the Dynamo 2013. So that's their entire discography, albeit there is a live album released this year. I'll put the picture up there for you to see that. Other than that, I've seen the band on 3 occasions. The first one obviously in 91 at the Hammersmith Odeon, 34 years ago, and then 20 years later they played with Overkill on the Killfest tour, which included Overkill as the headliners, Destruction, Heathen, and a band called After All. Never was familiar with this band After All, but they had a lot of merch on sale at that particular time. I never ever did get merch back in 91. Probably didn't have enough money, or spent it all on beer. It's always been my weak point. So no merch in 91, but I did get this t-shirt at the 2011 Killfest tour on their London date, just a simple black and white Killfest and the dates on the back. And that's actually the only piece of Heathen merch that I own, despite loving the band all these decades. They did play Bloodstock 11 years later in 2022, and they did apparently have some merch, but I wasn't lucky enough to get any. But yeah, blinding set. To see a band that you love only for only the 3rd occasion, due to their downtime back when they split up in 93 and reforming in 2001. Obviously there was a lot of inactivity, so yeah, 4 albums and an EP, and then this new 2023 demos collection, which is in fact a limited edition of only 200 copies. Before that, I did actually have the ripped onto CDR's demo collection off of their Bandcamp, which a mate of mine did for me. Did a really good job on it, actually. Xeroxed covers. So, but yeah, I was always a little bit pissed off that it was never a physical copy. So now it feels like my Heathen collection is complete. The brand new live album is in the post as we speak, so that'll be arriving in the next couple of days. But yeah, Heathen, one of the most underrated Bay Area thrash bands out there. Check them out.